So Muriel, French women are known to be born with elegance and inspirational style is everywhere you look in the streets of Paris. Fashion is also big business in Paris, with many Parisians being employed in the fashion industry in some form. How do you capture all that energy, all those ideas, and instill them into a coherent 4-day event like Pret-a-Porter Paris?
Sorry, hello to everybody. I'm very happy to be in New York. Pret-a-Porter Paris is a magic name, anyway, everybody know. It's very known because there is a big reputation, you know, a lot of big name of designer begin at Pret-a-Porter Paris. So for me, it's a luck to work in the ready-to-wear and fashion industry. The thing is, like the name, like for example Jean-Paul Gaultier or Christian Lacroix or Jean-Charles de Castelbajac, Isabelle Marant, good name and a very high designer begin at Pret-a-Porter Paris to the business. What is important to understand is it's not only a platform business. You know, now I think the trade show business changed a lot. So now it's more considered like than a media. So it's help, of course, young designer to be introduced to the business, and of course it's show the health of the company. So established brands come and to introduce, of course, the health to the buyers. We have a big network because, of course, we try to introduce the fashion segment for the fashion buyers, of course. And our strategy is to be always careful about the mutation of the market and to introduce focus depending on that. So that's, I think, the most important business today is to evolve, and the consumer needed is very important. So we try to focus each season if we need, in this sense, to introduce. So of course, Pret-a-Porter Paris, it's 1,300 brands linked, of course, to Who's Next and Première Classe in the same place. So it's a huge event, but it's more concerned about women ready-to-wear because 70% of the offer is ready-to-wear, feminine ready-to-wear. The rest is more considered like accessories, but always linked to the fashion. Not for example, like Première Classe, who is completely dedicated to accessories. Us, it's more fashion accessories linked to ready-to-wear business.
And Pret-a-Porter is not just a trade show anymore, it's a brand in its own right. And a brand that you are now exporting successfully to other fashion capitals like Tokyo and New York. Could you tell us about your American experience with the train?
Okay. Like I told you, of course, Pret-a-Porter Paris, the good thing is the reputation, and it's helped us to bring and to instill international agreement with, for example, different countries. For example, Spanish or here in USA. For us, it's very important to be present here in New York and USA because to be recognized like international brands, you have to be, of course, linked to Paris, New York, Tokyo. Okay, so we were lucky to launch in 2005 the train. The train is more like an alternative trade show. It's not huge compared to Coterie or DNA. It's more like showroom, a big showroom with our vision of French touch and European touch. And of course, to present offer like, to propose, for example, to American brands to come in Paris, and to French brands to come here and European brands to come here and to develop the USA market. Market here is very important, domestic market is very important in USA, and but I think buyers look more and more contemporary and more creative brands, like for example we have in France or in Europe. So it's a complementary, I think, interesting for the business. So the train is known for the distribution, but more selective distribution instead of, for example, a mass market is not corresponding to that.
Thank you. And the fashion industry is known for its speedy transitions from trend to trend. How does the Pret-a-Porter Paris show position itself when it comes to setting or following global trends?
Of course, our job is to detect the emerging market and to introduce to the buyers. That's, I think, the business of the trade show. And more today with the crisis changed completely the market vision. So now I think, for example, we always focus in each trade show, for example, we launch the slow wear or the fast fashion, the ethical fashion, for example, the market, or the upcycling for accessory. We try to be not like, for example, the trend office. We are not trend office, but we are the trend markets for the buyers. So we try to focus, for example, in the trends forum or catwalk or conference to talk about, for example, I do personally the consulting and I can help the brands, or for example, we do interview with press to help a different vision of what will be the future in the distribution. In fact, it's not only to present the trends, it's to analyze them.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, keeping our focus on the fashion world, let's also invite Julia Simon of the fashion agency Edite to host the Pret-a-Porter show. Hi, Julia.
Hi.
Your company, Edite, represents a number of American designers, and as the CEO of Edite, you've gone to the Pret-a-Porter Paris show for 2 seasons now. What do designers and fashion professionals get out of the Pret-a-Porter experience?
Well, I think as an exhibitor or as a designer or as a showroom, the first thing that you think about when you think about a trade show is, of course, sales. And it does happen. But going to Paris 2 times now, I had a wonderful experience, as well as my designers. It's actually a lot of network and sharing experience, and discovering the trends, and having access in 3 days basically to a global network that you would never experience if you were going by yourself in Paris and trying to experience the fashion world and new buyers and new press. I think it's absolutely a wonderful experience.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Muriel and Julia, for your insight into the Paris fashion style world.